What is going on, everybody? It is Nidge here from Nidge Players, and welcome to episode 4 of this Real Betis career mode. In this episode we've got a bit of a mixture of gameplay. We've got Deadline Day, which always brings a bit of fun with it, and we've also got a couple of games as well, one against Celta Vigo and one against Espanyol. First of all, you'll see here I'm just looking through the loaned out and loaned in players, because if you remember in the live com I was talking about I was shocked how many people we actually had loaned in and how many we had loaned out as well, and I was flicking through, seeing if it was worth sending anyone back or bringing anyone back in, but in the end I ended up just leaving it, and there's no changes there. You'll see there we get another offer for Castro, who seems to be a pretty popular player. Really, a lot of offers in for him so far in this window. But the main topic of conversation in this episode is going to be about the World Cup. I'm now recording this on the Tuesday, so the World Cup has now finished. Sad face. Yeah, it was a very, very, very good World Cup. Really enjoyable. I remember I said in the last episode that I'd back Argentina to win it, so I was a bit gutted that they didn't in the end, but I think Germany probably deserved it on the whole. The actual final itself was a pretty close game. There was chances for either team. I actually think Argentina had the better chances. Higuain missed an absolute sitter, but it was a great goal from Goetze from off the bench, and he got what was probably a deserved win based on the whole tournament. Germany were really good, especially against Brazil. That game was absolutely mad. 7-1. I don't think I spoke about that in the last commentary. I don't think it happened at that point. I can't remember. It's a bit confusing actually, because I've been away for the weekend, and this was recorded on the Thursday or Friday last week. So I've been away for the weekend, and I'll come back, and I was at work yesterday, so I didn't really get a chance. And today's the first chance I've really had to get the commentary done. But it's all a bit strange now, because already it seems so long ago since the World Cup was on, even though it was in reality literally just a couple of days ago. But yeah, Germany probably deserved it on the whole. Can't begrudge them that. The other thing really was about the team of the tournament. I really can't believe Messi got player of the tournament, because I thought he was good. Don't get me wrong, I was going to say he wasn't very good then, but he was. Just having a quick look at the Celta Vigo team, there's no one of real note. Rafael Sobis, player I've heard of, their ultimate team, as is Orellana, I think is how you say it. Rafinha, I don't think it's the same one that used to play for Bayern Munich, but I could be wrong there. But yeah, Messi didn't have that good a tournament, especially when you compare him to people like Robben, who I think had a sensational tournament. You look at James Rodriguez, or James, as most people like to call him, but yeah, that's come about in a tournament, hasn't it? It's not James, it's James, apparently. Yeah, he's had an incredible tournament. He's really burst himself onto the scene, and I don't know, there's a few others that aren't springing to mind right now, but I was really shocked when he got it. But I think if I read rightly today and yesterday, there's a couple of people that have come out saying that they were shocked that he got it. I think even Blatter was one of them, but we did take the lead there. Really nice goal from Baptiste. He's the one that last episode I was talking about, perhaps send him back, but because of his writing I kept him in the end, even though he's on loan. But you'll see here, we do make it 2-0, bit of a sweaty goal, but on world class, what are you going to do? If you don't take those, they'll punish you, and it was actually a second one for Baptiste, so that was good for him. But yeah, Muller's the other one that wasn't springing to mind. It just came to me that Thomas Muller had a really good tournament, and I remember last episode talking about how he would probably go on to get the top scorer of all time, but it looks, yeah, I still think it is. But I was going to mention Closer again. I actually saw it on Ultimate Team. He's got a special card now, hasn't he, for reaching the breaking the goals record of the World Cup, a blue and red one. It's a 90 overall, and it is an absolutely mental card. I think he's got 90 pace, 93 shooting, 99 heading. Absolutely unreal. It's a blue and red card. It's a bit similar to the one that they did for Messi when he broke his record last year, I think, if I remember rightly. It's very similar to that one. But yeah, very good World Cup, but now very sad that it's over. Looking forward to the Premiership starting over again now. It's not actually that far away. It always seems like a big gap between one season ending and the next season starting, but it's not far away, and there's a few big signings coming about that have give you even more reasons to look forward to it. You'll see Molina gets the ball, runs it in a really good place, and that is just awful. He seems to be very hot and cold for us. He either seems to score absolute screamers, or just, not necessarily screamers, but good goals, or just like that. I mean, you'll see again here, cross it in, he's got really good heading stats. You'd think that'd be in, it's not even that close really for when it should be in, but yeah, it's Premiership season's not too far away again now, like I say. Being a City fan, we've made some decent signings, nothing super exciting. I think Sanya's a good signing for us at right back. does probably mean that Michael Richards is going to leave, which is really sad. I mean, he's been with us for so long, I'll be gutted if he does go, but Sanya on a free as well. He's really good backup for Zabaleta. I don't expect him to be starting ahead of him. Perhaps a bit of rotation every now and then with the Champions League and all that stuff. He said we do win that game 2-1, so it's good to get our first 3 points on the board after the Real Madrid game. But yeah, Fernando's another one we signed. He's one that I've heard bits about, and I've seen him on FIFA getting quite decent in career modes, but I don't know that much about him, so I can't say anything really. We signed that Willy Caballero as a backup goalkeeper because obviously Pantamilion's left the club after first team football. I will stop talking about this for a second, just talk you through deadline day here. We do actually try and sign Origi on loan, find out if that goes through in a second, but I still felt the need that we needed a backup striker, and he's another one that's had a really good World Cup, so I was quite keen to bring him in. And I didn't realise this, he's got 83 pace, which is not bad, but he's 6'1" as well. From watching him in the World Cup, I didn't think he was 6'1", but there you go. That's a really big offer that is there we received from Stoke for Ruben Castro. 5.5 million. He's 32. He's on a decline. We do counter offer that, and they come back and say we'll offer you 6 million. We signed Origi as well, though, which was a decent signing on the last day. Bit of drama for it. Well, it wasn't really very dramatic, but you know what I mean. But at this point, I was really torn on what to do. I didn't know whether to accept it, go a bit higher or what, and I nearly rejected it, and then I get tempted and put it up to 6.5, and you'll see they do respond the very next day with their decision on that, and they rejected it. So I could regret that, because 6 million is a lot of money for someone that's that old, and his rating's not that great, but he's going to be a good player for us, so it's not the end of the world. We'll have to wait and see whether that comes back to bite us on the bum or not. If he has a good season, then we've done a good thing. If he doesn't, we should have took the money. But yeah, going back to signings, just said about Fernando and Willy Caballero as backup to... Not the most exciting signings in the world, the more of what I see as backup players, I suppose. But the one that we are meant to be pushing it at the moment, City, is Mangala, which is quite exciting, because obviously, although Di Michaelis was really, really good last season and did fill in well in the end after he had a bit of a slow start, it's not a secret that we do need a better centre-back to partner Company, who's a bit of a rock, as we know. But we would link with Mangala and... is it Benatia, I think is how you pronounce it, from Roma, but Mangala's looking like the one that we're going to get. But again, although they're rated highly, they're not players that I have seen a lot of, so I can't really comment too much. We do change to a 4-2-2-2 in this game as well, just so you know. I thought we need to be a bit more attacking. Molina, like I say, he's very hot and cold, and he probably needs a bit of support up with him, being as though he's not the quickest, so we do chuck on another striker up there with him. I think it's Baptiste we play up with him, is it? Yeah, Baptiste we play up front after he scored the 2 goals in the last game. But other signings that are quite exciting, I suppose, Diego Costa from to Chelsea from Atletico. I think that's all gone through now, 32 million. A lot of money in, although he was the third top scorer in La Liga last season. Whenever I saw him, he didn't look that good. Who can I compare him to? I don't know. Just a bit one of those players. He's a bit of a poacher. He doesn't seem to... Dzeko, there's a good example, Dzeko. Now, I see Dzeko, because I'm a season ticket holder at Man City. I see Dzeko week in, week out. We go 1-0 down here very early. We cleared the corner and then just couldn't fight it after that. He just fell nicely, and what can you do? But yeah, Dzeko, sorry. He's just in the right place at the right time. He's got such an awful touch a lot of the time, but he's just got a knack of being in the right place and scoring vital goals. So if Costa's up for Chelsea, it's a good signing, I suppose, but he can be a bit of a frustrating player at times, Dzeko, and I think the same of Costa whenever I see him for Atletico Madrid. Oh, excuse me there. Alexis Sanchez to Arsenal, though, that is one that I am excited about. Alexis Sanchez is a player that I rate really highly, and here's Molina going big for us. Like I say, he seems to not be awful or score screamers, and that's a bit of a peach from him there. But yeah, Sanchez is a player that I really rate highly. I was looking through... bit of a spoiler. I was looking through the players for one of my next videos to predicting the ratings for FIFA 15, and I was looking through the ratings and the stats from the last season. It actually shocked me how many games Sanchez has played. I think it was over 30. I want to say 32, but it could have been 35. I can't quite remember. And he'd scored 20 odd goals as well. So he was obviously not having a bad time at Barcelona. But whenever I think about Sanchez at Barcelona, I always think of him as backup, not really playing that often, because Pedro always seemed to get ahead of him from what I remember. But obviously that's wrong, because like I say, he played 30 odd games, scored 20 odd goals over the season. That's including the World Cup as well, these stats, so not just necessarily being for Barcelona. But he's a player that I really rate highly, and be interesting to see how he does in the Premiership. I remember a year or two, probably more than a couple of years ago now, but Man City really needed a winger, and we were linked with him quite strongly, and ended up going to Barcelona instead, and I was really disappointed because I think he was at Udinese at the time and he was doing really, really well for them. You'll see we come back there, 2-1 up now, really good stuff after going 1-0 down so early. It can be hard to bounce back sometimes, but it's nice to see us doing it there. Big header from the centre back there, Paolo I think it was. But yeah, Sanchez, really excited to see him. It'll be interesting to see where they're playing, because for Chile, I always think he looks really good, and the play him is sort of, I wouldn't say it was quite a striker. I'd say it's like almost like the Messi role that he plays at Barcelona. It was like a centre forward. That's how Chile play him. So obviously at Barcelona he's been predominantly on the wing. So we'll have to see if Arsenal play him on the wing or up front. I mean, Giroud's a good striker, but Sanchez is a lot better than Giroud in my eyes, and it'd be interesting to see if he could get in ahead of him. But I reckon that he's probably going to play him on the wing or behind Giroud, and then perhaps when Giroud's out, then it gives him a really good option to put Sanchez up front instead of someone like Bentner's obviously gone, but Bentner was who they were playing before, and Sonogo. And Sonogo's a player that I do think could be decent at some point, but he's not good enough now for a team that's supposed to be. Well, I suppose they're challenging for titles, aren't they? At the start of the season, they'd always say they want to be challenging for the title, and Sonogo and Bentner aren't good enough. I think if you're challenging, you need to have at least three really, really good strikers. I mean, if you look at the other teams that are competing, you got City, we've got Dzeko, Aguero, Negredo, Jovetic, all really, really good strikers. You look at even United, I know they didn't have a good season last year, but Rooney, Rooney, Hernandez, Van Persie, three really good strikers there. Chelsea's where they've struggled actually, isn't it? That's probably what didn't win them the league. I mean, Torres, he's a good striker, but he's just not been getting the rub of the green in my eyes, and obviously that's why they bought in Costa. Eto'o they had last season has been released. He did a decent job for them, but again he wasn't a title winner, not at that stage in his career. But the other thing you look at is Liverpool. I mean, they've only got two really in Sturridge and Suarez, who's obviously left now, and they did the job. So, by the way, this is never a penalty. This is never a penalty. Every time I see the replay, I remember watching it a few times when it happened, you can't see because my number 12 gets in the way of it, but it doesn't look like I get anywhere near him and he just falls over to me, but very annoying. Yeah, Suarez and Sturridge really did well for them last year. I know Gerrard had a big say as well, but between those two, they pretty much carried Liverpool. But yeah, Suarez as well, obviously going to Spurs, that's another matter. 75 million, I think that's a lot of money. He's a world-class player, do not get me wrong, but for what he's done and what he's known to do, I think they could have gone in for less than that myself. Now, some places have said 63 million, some have said 75, so I don't really know what the true figure is, but it's a lot of money either way. But if he comes through, then it doesn't matter, does it? I saw somewhere as well that they put a clause in his contract as well that if he does it again, his wages drop or something like that. I think it was. I can't fully remember now, but that'd be interesting to see. You'll see in 90th minute, couldn't quite force it in to get the goal, and it does finish 3-3. A bit of a thriller there, and after 3 games, we've had a loss, a win, and a draw. So make of that what you will. Brazil as well, I suppose they're a bit of a letdown in the World Cup, weren't they? They got to semi-final after getting hammered. They were pretty much appalling again against who was it that beat them in their third place playoff? Holland, of course it was Holland, but yeah, I haven't really got time to talk about that now. We'll leave that for another episode because that is going to be the end of this one. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to like, rate and subscribe, and I shall see you again next time. Nidge out.